There's come. Hello, everyone. Jennifer Polk here tonight. We are March 9th, 2026. Can you believe it? I think I say that every week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we are already like almost through the first quarter of 2026. Where did the time go? So tonight we have a special guest on our team call. It is a amazing friend of mine. I was trying to think when we met, Kathleen. I know it's been a long
I
time.
can't I can't think of the first time. I think that happens when we've been around a long time.
For a long time. I know. So I cannot wait. I'm going to introduce you to my friend. And I always love asking people for their bios because I've learned so many fun things about them. So I knew this already. She's a military wife. So not that the wife thing, but the son being in the military, that's kind of a special connection. And then she's a mom of two boys, and then she's a stepmom to four daughters. I'm like, way to go, sister. We were just talking about that. She owns a part-time physical therapy practice, and she specializes in myofascial release and women's health in Panama City, Florida. So that was super cool. So she's super smart, sciency. I love that part. She has been growing her Life Vantage business for 13 years, almost 13. So yeah, when she said that she's been around, her and I know. I think didn't we dance together one night
I
at
think we
a
met through Carrie, and I think you did a program or something, tapping.
oh,
I don't, it was I don't know. You brought some program. I think that was our first connection.
I think so. Yes. And then weren't we dancing in Mexico?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. And so she's an executive leader and in the top 1% of the company. And I just adore you. And Kathleen, I'm so thankful. We are now on habit 6 of our 7 habits, synergize. And this is the perfect one. Like this is what we do is we synergize with people, right? And so I asked Kathleen if she could first tell her story because we always like telling our stories, right? So Kathleen, if you could share your story. Did I start recording? Yes, I did. Okay, good.
Yeah, I think you did.
Um, yep,
Yeah.
yep. I always like to make sure.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me, Jennifer. I love our collaboration. It's the epitome of this topic, synergy. It's like how our company works, it's how our products work. And I can tell you I wasn't always a synergy kind of person. I'll say more about that later. But I was introduced to this 13 years ago. I had my own practice at the time, and after my first son was born, I had both of my kids at home. So I really put a lot of intention into becoming a mom. And then I instantly went from being kind of a workaholic to I don't want to go back to work. It was a very strange feeling, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I was looking at literally working in a cloth diaper store just so I could just not to replace what I did, but so that I didn't have to do it as much. I could do something part time and then do a little something with my kids. Like being present for my kids was so important. And Heather, so when you're telling your story, I totally get it. I had no idea that my prayer would come in a package of network marketing. I didn't have any story around network marketing, but it was my realtor that brought this to me. And I had been praying for just something that I could do at home where I didn't have to leave my kids. I didn't want to put them in daycare. There were just things that were non-negotiable for me. And he sent me that ABC News clip. I did all the things that all the people do, right? You immediately go online, you Google, saw all the weird blogs. I made phone calls. I heard about this woman, Marcy Steiner in Bethesda. I gave her a call. I said, "Can I come to your meeting?" I mean, I did everything that it's rare, right? It's rare to find somebody who's like running. So all I know is that after I had learned about oxidative stress, I had never even heard of that before. And I'd been in the fitness industry long before I was a PT. It was my whole life. I wanted this product in my body. That wasn't a question. I just waffled about, am I going to sign up as a consultant or be a customer? And that just didn't make any tax sense. It didn't make it, there was no tax benefit to just becoming a customer. I said, I'm at least going to come in as a consultant. There's no way I could keep that ABC News clip a secret. It's public information. What am I going to hold that hostage? And I couldn't stop thinking about people that I wanted to share this with. When I learned how to actually do this as a business and invite as a business, I got even more excited because I'm thinking I could invite my friends to do this with me. We could do this together. And that's how it started. I was not a professional network marketer. I was a private practitioner, used to doing everything on my own, very independent. So it was a learning curve for me to figure out how to receive help and receive mentorship and not do it all on my own. But sometimes I don't know how I got to executive, to tell you the truth, Jennifer. Like if I had to go and I'm like, I don't know, I just started going to events and inviting people to come with me. Really.
Wow.
So that's my story. And I got to EC1 in 4 years.
Wow, that's
Pro
amazing.
7 back then, right? So 4 years, I was able to take a sabbatical for a few years and be like a real full-time mom and like focus on LifeVantage. And trust me, focusing does make a difference versus spreading yourself thin. And but you might do that. I tend to do that. And between the trips and just the choices that I've been able to make for my family because of LifeVantage, it's been life-changing for sure.
Wow. Thank you. I guess I never really heard your story, like the
Eh,
all of that.
sometimes, like depends on who's on. I might like highlight something else. Like sometimes it comes out a
Yeah,
little differently, but that is.
I
And now
love.
I'm able to have a practice. I do have a practice because I actually really love treating patients, but I only have to do it like 10 hours a week.
That's awesome.
And that's it.
Incredible. Incredible. Thank you. Well, I'm so excited to have each and every one of you on as well because we know you have choices where you could be, and we do not take that lightly. And that's a synergy as well. Absolutely. So I'm going to start screen sharing. And like I said, this is our sixth segment. We have one more, only one more. And our last week is with Miss Lacey Nielsen, who is in Thailand, or just getting back from Thailand, I should say. Okay, I'm going to take this over here and I'm going to start presenting. Oh, somebody's joining. There we go. Okay. So, our week 6 synergy, everything, it's all about synergy, right? Um, I was just thinking about, whoever has kids here, right? It took a certain synergy between those two people to have another a baby, right? How cool is that? I'm like, that is the epitome of creative collaboration, right? And this habit is all about seeking perspectives that are different from ours. So often I think in today's society we're looking for people that just think the same. Boring, boring. I love talking to people and meeting people that have different thoughts than I do. And because when you do that, it really does, it challenges us to help us better solve problems, to navigate conflicts, or to develop something completely new. I loved this Stephen Covey quote: synergy is the highest activity in all of life. It is the true test and manifestation of all the other habits that we've talked about put together. So I know we have a couple new people on here. So if we go back our 7 habits, the first one, hold on, let me get all I begin with the end. Oh no, that's the second one. The first one is be proactive. The second one is begin with the end in mind. The third one is put first things first. And then that was one of my favorites. The fourth, because if we've been doing this, it's all about planning our weeks out, right, for the third one. The fourth one was when we switch over from all the private work that this is and it goes more into the public victories. And that I love. The fourth is think win-win. And then last week was seek first to understand, then to be understood. And then this week is all about synergy. So Kathleen, did you have something on this one? Or I think the next one is your big one, right?
Well, you
Did you
can
have
go
any?
to the next one.
Okay. So we talked about paradigm, and paradigm is how we see things. So both Kathleen and I have glasses on tonight, and there's quite a few of us. And if I see the world through my glasses, if I had Kathleen's glasses on, we would see things very differently. And this is what we want to do is we want to look at things differently. So this is all the common paradigm for synergy is let's just compromise. We'll just compromise versus a highly effective paradigm is if we work together, we'll discover something better than what we could have ever had in mind. Totally. So I'm going to send it over to you, Kathleen.
Yeah, so what that actually made me think about, and I knew this would happen when we're on here. I'm like, something is just going to come like very organically, something I didn't write down. And when you say that, I think about, when we're building our business, sometimes we think, oh, well, I'll just like anybody, everybody, like it doesn't matter. That's a bit of a compromise because then you may end up working with someone who actually is not a great contribution to the whole. It's just true, right? Because we're just like anybody. But I think when we come from a place of looking for strengths and skills that complement us, they're not ours. Like I might have some strengths. Jennifer has a strength. I was telling Jennifer, my goodness, you are able to, who made this PowerPoint? Is this like a professional? This is very hard for me. I don't know what it is. I can't seem to put together a nice PowerPoint, but I can get on and present. And so I was complimenting you on that. And it has made me think even more as an EC1 and in here 13 years, even more intentionally about moving forward and how to create more intentional synergy. What are we looking for? We're not just looking for anybody. You get
Mhm.
to think about what are the skills, gifts, backgrounds of people that complement you, things that you don't have. Maybe someone, well, I can't, I could tell, I could get into a whole thing, but, it's just it's very easy to, and it's also very easy to think, oh, let me just enroll people that are just like me,
Mhm.
right? You
Yeah,
tend
but
to gravitate to people that are very similar, but they might not actually always be the best contribution to a bigger thing as we grow a
right.
business.
We have people on the team that are very different, right? And they have very different skill sets. And I love that. And I
Yeah.
love this, is saying it's not like one plus one equals two. It's one plus one equals three or 10 or even 1,000. And that reminds me of our pro tandem, right? I'll use that example. It's five ingredients. I say it's not like one plus one plus one plus one plus one equals five. No, it's one plus one plus one plus one plus one equals 1,800% more. There's
Yeah.
that synergy. I mean, it's
Yes.
everywhere, all in LifeVantage, right? And
Yeah.
I loved some of the examples, like a chef combines ingredients to create a delicious dish. Things like bacon in things that I would have never thought, like sweet and savory or things like that. I'm like, huh, interesting, huh. So yeah, um, yes, it's thinking about that paradigm shift of what else that we haven't even thought of, right? I love that.
Jennifer, I just want to add, like when we were talking about this list, if we look at our current team, whoever is like in your team right now. Oh, hi,
Mhm.
Kathleen. I'm just noticing Kathleen was there. Um, that that's kind of like the ingredients.
Yeah,
It's like, have we ever looked at our team, like all these amazing ingredients and how they can like work together to create something totally new?
yeah. I
Yeah.
know Kathleen had a great idea. She's like, let's do like a meet and greet. Like, we're not going to do any kind of presentation. We just have such great people in LifeVantage. I'm like, that is spectacular idea. I didn't think of that, right? And so she's now put it together. So for those of you that live in the Denver metro area, write on your calendar, April 24th, right, Kathleen? April 24th. Yeah. And she has a friend that owns a restaurant, and we're going to be sharing stories, but it's just not like the regimented. And I'm like, I love that. I loved that. I was like, thank you. So yes, I love that, using our people as ingredients. Yes.
That
Love
is
it.
such a great analogy, Kathleen. I love that. It's, the ingredients that creates the synergy. within your team to make whatever it is your team is, you know?
Right. It's like Top Chef, right? Or something like that, where they
Yeah,
give you all these ingredients and they're like, all right, whoever makes the best
that's
thing
perfect.
wins
Yeah,
with
that's
what you
great.
got.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. Love it. Love it. Love it. The next thing that we wanted to talk about is valuing differences. And to value differences is to intentionally seek out perspectives and ideas that challenge your view.
Mhm.
And I know this could be very controversial, but I just think the more we talk about things, the better. Like, I just think in our society right now, people will get on one side or the other, right? Maybe it's politics or religion or whatever. And I'm like, I think if we can talk about things and go, oh, that's really, really interesting. Why, or culture. Oh my gosh. I love going to different people's homes and eating different foods and experiencing different things. I'm like, huh, I would have never thought to have like whatever, um, I'm trying to think of like some weird things, ostrich eggs that I've had, or, I'm like, huh, never tried that before. But yes, what else? And to actually seek out, Kathleen, what did you, anything?
Yeah. You know, I really try to keep coming back to like how this can apply to our business as like a really good takeaway for everybody to have like a takeaway from this particular topic. And that is thinking about like if say you go through these like skills, like if you had to think of someone in your life who just has a different skill than you, write down their name, different experience, different backgrounds, different, like write down that person's name. It's like you can create a list just from this list and be intentional. It's actually, you know what, I'm going to write down a list of people that have different backgrounds in these categories because it's
Yeah,
you're already breaking out of your normal thing and how you create a list, right? Because you're
yeah,
just creating a list from people you know. But what about if you actually created it from a list of qualities that are different than yours?
no, 100%. I love
I
that.
mean, I
Yeah.
feel like I can think of a lot more people if I did that.
Right? I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. And how I just had a conversation today with a gal that was a leader and their company just went under. And I'm like, I would love to have you on our team because she's a different color, right? Different experiences. And I'm like, how cool is that? Right? I'm like,
Hmm.
this is like so fun. If we think it is, right? If we're intentional about it. So I love that. Make a list of people who fit into these categories that are different than yours. Love it. Love
Brand
that.
new list. I bet everybody could walk out of here with like 20 just new names on the list. And you never know. You don't know like where that's going to go. But I think it just like, oh my gosh, I never would have thought of that person.
Yeah. And to tell them I'm being intentional. I'm trying to find people that like we're just like you said, Kathleen, that was beautiful. Like we're all the in different ingredients. That's something I do love about our team. We are so different in so many ways. I love it.
Yeah. A lot of
Absolutely.
diversity. Hmm.
I love it. Okay. Now the next thing we want to talk about is the steps to synergy. So if you want to talk about that,
Sure.
Yvonne.
All right. So, I guess, my mentor, Marcy Steiner, she does this with us. We have a little leadership mastermind. So as I was looking at this, I'm like, this is really what she does. And so we get on a mastermind and she will ask, like, are you willing to come up with a solution that's better than any of us have come with it? Like, she's like, are you open to a conversation of creating something in our mastermind? She actually says this. And then, people are allowed to pop in and share their thoughts here and there. Um, and she is I'm saying this because this is actually not my strength. My strength is not what Marcy Steiner does yet. So I want to highlight her. And I'm like so grateful that she's my mentor, right? Because she has so much like a whole nother level of skill. Um, but she does want to say, here's the end in mind. Okay, what can we all do to you know, create this and what does it mean? Like what are the goals? What are the SMART goals that we could create? Um, and she does well, this whole piece of like consider the people who aren't in the room. I quite honestly, I wasn't totally clear about that one. Consider the people who aren't in the room.
Mm-hmm.
in that bullet point there.
Yeah. We didn't speak specifically about
Yeah.
that one, but people that we can invite who aren't there that we can invite into the room. That's how I took that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
other,
Fair enough.
other people that's how I took that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and invite them in because they
Yeah.
might have something to say or they might want to be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
who do you know who we use that term a lot. Who do you know who is looking for a micro franchise business,
Right.
you're right.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how I thought about that.
Got
Mhm.
it.
Creating the prototypes and the countertype for them,
Mm-hmm.
figuring out how many
Yeah.
options. Yeah, I
I
was
mean,
like,
I know we've done this on our team before, because we wanted to create like our own Wellness Wednesday. We wanted to have one in our group, and instead of just always going to the Wellness Wednesday. And I've just decided, I just went all in with that after this because we did try that. We tried it. We tried a prototype. We tried to do it. We had a great collaboration, and it just wasn't as effective. But at the end of the day, we all worked together to create that, and then found something better. We're like, okay, this either worked or doesn't work, but we all had to kind of coordinate to make that happen.
yeah,
It's really
oh,
hard to do it like when you're just doing it by yourself, and it's very easy. I'll say this for myself. As a, private healthcare practitioner since 2007, I have not had a boss. I mean, even when I was an athlete, I was a fitness athlete, so I got to do it by myself. I was on a swim team, so I kind of felt like it was just me, even though I was on a team. I was not great at team sports that involved coordination. Just saying, it was so much easier just to like be in control of myself. And if you do that in this business, there is a cap. There's only so much we can do by ourselves. It's just impossible if you want to build a significant income, whether it's 5 figures, 6 figures, it's near impossible
and it's
just to
lonely.
to do it when you're only doing it by yourself. Pardon?
And it's lonely.
It's lonely, yeah. And then the idea is that we want everybody to kind of rise up and develop their leadership in their gifts and everything, and then that's where you have the leverage. But by yourself, you'll burn out. You'll burn
Yes,
out.
burnout, loneliness, all
Oh
the
yeah.
all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so then you arrive at that third solution, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
and it's nothing that any of you ever imagined, I think,
Definitely.
because it's like that collaborative, right? That
Mm-hmm.
creative collaborative. And then I just saw this quote and I was like, oh, there's almost always a third alternative. And if you work with a win-win philosophy and you really, I should have highlighted, really seek to understand, you can find a solution that will be better for everyone. I loved that. Loved it, loved it. And so as we wrap up our time here, we're gonna I always tell people, you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them. That's like the whole, like, this is loop, right? That we finish off the loop, but it is all about this creative collaboration. And it's all about working together to find better solutions than we could have ever come up with alone. And I love our team. There's so many amazing leaders that have so many great ideas, and we're always like, well, try that and let us know, or or what have you thought about this, or are you open to that, what about, oh, have you thought and it's like, no, well, I did, and I tried that and this, and I love those conversations that we've had. And it's
Oh yeah.
when we see that's our paradigm, right? If we work together, we'll discover something better. It's not a compromise. Compromise is a win-lose kind of situation, but
Yeah.
it's better than any of us had anything in mind. And then we do the practices. That's valuing those differences, actually intentionally seeking out those differences. I love that list. I wrote it down. I'm writing down my list of people, and then seeking those third alternatives, and then we get our results with these creative solutions, conflict resolution, and then transformed relationships, teams, and organizations. So, anything else, Kathleen?
Yeah, yeah. I would love to say, and first of all, I just want to acknowledge you because you are taking the lead on creating synergy. And if you guys have been around LifeVantage for a while, this is the culture of LifeVantage. We reach cross line, up line, down line. Everybody really wants to help each other, and there's constantly little pockets of momentum, and it's usually around cross line leaders coming together. And like it's like a bonfire. It happens. So I hope that you can tap into some, whoever is, whoever is cross line, up line to catch that, because that's how our culture works here at LifeVantage. And I love telling stories. So I want to share another story, and I hope that it makes you
Yes.
think like it's making me think. And one thing, so I used to live up in Maryland, and this is where I started my business with Marcy Steiner. We had a thriving, thriving community. Okay. And we did a lot of in-person stuff. Of course, COVID hit and that changed a lot of things, but then, everything, things kind of got back to normal. But being in that in-person community I didn't have to work that hard to build community because Marcy was so good at it. Then I moved to Panama City, and it's a small town, and it's just different. It's just my experience is different. And I realized my strength is not in building a community like Marcy Steiner did. She was able to build community and like keep it going, where I'm kind of a sprinter. I like to have an event and then it's over. So I realized that's not really my strength down here. So I've struggled a little bit with building in-person community. However, I just had a three-way call with somebody that's on like just like on my fifth or sixth level. And she had come to a couple Zoom meetings, one of them mine, and she'd been a customer of this one woman that I get to coach. She's up in Massachusetts. Okay. I've only met this woman once in person. Well, it turns out she was an executive in a company that recently just shut down. She didn't even know it was shut down because it's been a long time, but she made executive money. And she loves building community. She was like, I loved it. I loved it so much. I love, she called them her shows. She's like, I loved having my shows. She's like, I built it all over the world. And I'm like, I just had this moment. I hope everybody has this. Like, it doesn't have to be me. I don't have to be that expert in presenting, or I don't have to be that expert in building community. I don't have to be that expert in social media or that expert in putting PowerPoints together. It's like we get to build a we. And so, this whole conversation has made me think about her so much more. And like, oh, what a relief. What a relief network marketing is in LifeVantage, that we don't have to be the everything. And if you're a private hair, like Heather, who's a massage therapist, I'm sure you probably have an accountant, a bookkeeper, a financial advisor, someone who helps you with different things. But if we're really good practitioner, we're probably not really good at all those things. We need that support, and we get to have that here in LifeVantage, just in building our team. And it may not be the person you know, it might be that somebody else knows. So if you can hopefully take this conversation back and think about people in your team, your people you've sponsored, and say, hey, maybe we could think about people that have strengths that we don't have.
Yeah. And that's
Right?
hard to.
Instead of the pressure, okay, I know it's hard to admit, the pressure we put on ourselves. Well, I'm not like Carrie Dickey. I can't do this. Or I'm not Lacey Nielsen, who's like amazing at social media and does all these reels nonstop every day. We don't have that. We can build a we.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathleen. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
So
Thank you.
I'm excited to see where that flows with you guys. I would love to hear. Jennifer, you'll have to fill me
Yes.
in of
I
like
love
the differences that start coming together.
No, I thank you, thank you, thank you. And anybody, any questions or comments for Kathleen? And then I'll stop the recording. And then if you guys want to stay on, have a couple announcements. That's what we've been doing afterwards, but we don't record those. So anybody, anything?
No, just thank you. I thought it was great. And just
Yes.
out of curiosity, are you familiar with smarter goals versus smart goals?
No, but that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah, well, smarter goals just have a little bit more flexibility for improvement and change. And so what they did is they added exciting and relevance to the smarter goal acronym.
I love that.
Yeah.
I
I'm
love that.
writing that down. You said, can you
Smarter.
I'll
say it again
send
now?
Jennifer, I have a sheet I actually keep laminated on my desk to remind me. And I'll send it to you, Jennifer, and you can
Thank
share
you.
it with
Yep,
Kathleen.
awesome.
But can
Yes.
you say the E and the R again? Because this is
Sure,
such great, but I have a
exciting.
short
So
attention.
they're a little different. So you have specific, measurable,
Right.
actionable, then it goes risky, time keyed, then exciting and
Exciting.
relevant.
Exciting and relevant.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm so glad I was on here long enough to hear that because that does make it more flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my challenges is like I have like short term, like it goes in and out of my ear sometimes. I have to ask people to repeat themselves. So thank you.
Amen.
Oh, no, thank you. And you know what? I hear you. I think as we get older, we have a lot of those things that go in and out. So
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
that's fantastic. Thanks for that contribution.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jennifer, for
Awesome.
having
Thank
me.
you,
I'll hop off so you
Kathleen.
can.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
It was
you.
great seeing
Bye.
you,
Bye. Thank you,
Kathleen.
guys. Have a good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.